Hi, I'm Paige Doty of Paige Doty Counseling. If you live in the Boulder, Colorado area, you may also know me as Paige from Jeff and Paige. And this is a little video update talking about my new private counseling practice, which also includes some creative business consulting. I have a new meditation group starting this March, and I wanted to share a little bit about why a meditation group can be a wonderful addition to your life. I think sometimes when we hear meditation group, we think, no way, or I already know how to do that, or what is that even? And what it is when you join my group is going to be a supportive community of people who also want to experiment with and experience living consciously. I had a little moment this morning that I wanted to share as a part of this update that's from my own personal life. So I've had a steady meditation practice for about 15 years. So that means I sit every single day for about 30 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes a little less with kids. If you're curious about how that all fits with your schedule, you can check out my recent post, 5 tips for busy parents or just busy people for getting your meditation in. The way that my meditation practice has supported the rest of my life isn't as obvious as it might seem. And that's what I want to talk about today in this little update video. Meditation is the beginning for a lot of people, there are other ways as well, to starting to understand that there are sort of two people living in here, for lack of a better explanation. The mind that's thinking all the time, or sometimes called the ego or the mask, and the witness consciousness or awareness that's watching. So when we meditate, we learn to start to live a little less in the constantly thinking, frenetic mind and a little more in awareness. But the work doesn't stop there. The work continues, quote unquote, off the cushion. And that was what came up for me this morning. I'm home, just me with my kids for this couple of days. And I had a flexible day today, and I thought, I'm going to just give Alice, our youngest child, a little extra time in the morning. I don't have to be anywhere until noon, and so I'll give this space, this spaciousness to her, which is by design. Some of the other parts and months of my life are super full, and it's rush, and get out the door. I'm not home until late, or I don't see the kids on the weekend. So during these cold winter months when things are a little slower, we, and myself, I'll just talk about myself, have intentionally created spaciousness in our schedule to give our kids time when they need it. And Alice, our 3-year-old, she needed it this morning. She slept in late and had breakfast late, and getting dressed is a long process if you let it be. If you can let it be for your child. So here I am, okay, I'm gonna take this spacious morning, and we'll just get out of the house when we get out of the house. Well, as soon as that decision had been made, I would say from my awareness, from knowing that that's gonna feel like a good thing for me and my child, the mind starts talking. Oh, you had all these creative projects you were going to do today. When are you going to get out of here? What time is it? Starting to look at the watch. So the mind chatter starts, and it begins to sabotage that conscious choice that you've made. I wonder if you're familiar with this. I bet you are, because most of us have this quality inside of us. And because I've been practicing for a long, long time, I was able to very quickly recognize, that's a thought that is not serving this moment. I have decided from my higher self, my heart, my consciousness, lots of words we could choose there, to be committed to having spaciousness this morning with my child and letting that unfold in whatever way that unfolds. And there comes that mind, just those thoughts, those present removing thoughts, those future thinking thoughts that take us out of the present moment. So I had to actively practice off the cushion this morning to allow those thoughts to come and let them go, and then come back to presence with my daughter. And as I was able to do that, that feeling of spacious, open, lovely, conscious presence returned, and it became enjoyable again. However, when we don't have the space, often created first through meditation and then through practicing over and over and over again, to notice when those thoughts come in that take us away, perhaps from something we've consciously chosen, it can become immediately a suffering kind of experience. So when I say in some of my language on my website, it's an invitation working with me and stepping onto this path to step off of the wheel of suffering. In Buddhism, it's called the wheel of samsara, but we don't need to get into these terms. We don't need to be one religion or another to understand any of this. We just need to be human beings. So when I talk about stepping off the wheel of suffering, it's getting out of this constant mind chatter that's just going all the time and running the show if we're not actively noticing a way out of that. So my meditation group that's starting in March, it has some space for a few more people, and it's a wonderful way to gather. We'll do some meditation. There'll be a practice or a teaching each session, and then we'll share amongst our group what our journey is like with these practices that we're exploring. So it might be something like what I just shared, where you come to the group, we meditate for a little while, I'll give a lesson or a teaching or a practice. I draw from lots of different texts. I've been studying for about, 15 years, this stuff. And it's the most important thing I've ever learned or implemented in my life, which is the other reason I want to offer it to others. So we'll do a little meditation, we'll have a lesson or a teaching, and then we'll share. And it might be a share just like something like I just said, hey, I noticed I wanted to be present and spacious with my kid, and that felt so good and clear, and then I got really, really pulled out of that and stuck in this other place, and then I started to have all these feelings come up of resenting my child and wanting to rush her out the door and do all these things that I actually know I don't want to do. And then we'll all hear from each other, and we'll do that over and over again every Thursday for every 2 weeks, every other Thursday. And I'd love to have you join the group if this is something you're interested in. And if the group timing doesn't work or you're nervous about a group, give me a call, send me an email. I would be happy to chat with you. I also have space for a few more one-on-one private clients, so that's an option as well. You can learn more about me, these teachings, these offerings at paigedody.com. If you've always just felt like there was something more to this life, and that it was so close that you could almost taste it, this is for you. This work is for you. Give me a call. You can I say my phone number on the internet? You can find me on my website, paigedody.com. Email me directly, paige@paigedody.com.